12th in Toronto. Radko Gudas hit Auston Matthews, ending his season. He got a 5-game suspension. There was questions whether he would play in this game. And we are set to go. A rugged lineup to start the game for the Leafs. And the Ducks' fourth line to oppose them. Wes McCauley drops the puck. We're underway, and here we go. Dropping the gloves immediately. Gudas will take on Max Domi right at center ice. No question here about what was going to happen as the two of them hang on. Domi with undercuts. And unable to get a hand free to make a punch is Gudas. They go down to the ice, and as they get back up, a left from Domi sends them back down once more.
Yeah, never mind the code for Max Domi. He knew that was coming. Yeah. Radko knew it was coming. You know, a couple things here, John. Radko Gudas was demanding that he play in this game. Injury be damned. He wanted to answer.
That'll probably be the night for him because he's been playing, stood his ground, but Max Domi gets underneath and just simply won't be denied. What an effort, what emotion. And the response that didn't happen back on March 12th happens just 3 seconds here into this one.
Joe Quenneville changing his lines. I thought based on what the Leafs set out, we might get the full line brawl to start, old school Monday Night Raw, but to get it back on, a backdoor pass there, and Jackson Lacombe on the move. A high-scoring young defenseman who fought with Easton Cowan. McCabe takes his man down, and Leafs are going to be short-handed as Alex Killorn hit the deck, and Jake McCabe thinks he embellished it.
Didn't like it. I don't like the penalty call at all. I think this is just a battle for McCabe off the veteran Killorn, but you can see it tempers up, energy's there. Matthew Knies getting in it. Beckett Seneke. But the game's early chance goes the way of the Anaheim Ducks, as they often can. They're good off the rush. Here's the first shot rebounding. You can see Kreider from a tough angle sliding across with Stolars and getting a piece of it. That to me is going down way too easy for Killorn. Knee on the hip there, didn't even go and kick him out. So the reaction from McCabe was instantaneous, and then you can see everybody's antennas are up and energy is there. Matthew Knies gets involved in it.
Probably no accident that Wes McCauley and TJ Luxmore, a couple of veteran referees, are in charge tonight. George Peros in the building.
Now you're down to a 5-on-3 though. Not one Anaheim Duck player taken out of that pile.
Nylander, up ahead it goes. Morgan Riley in along with Cowan and Nylander. That shot off a Duck stick.
Yeah, penalty
and a bump there on Husso, who chops at Nylander, and here we go again. Mikhail at the bottom of the pile after the initial reaction.
So Nylander driving to the net, couldn't stop in time, and he ran into Husso. It was a little bit of a late arm going up. And who comes in afterwards? You got a reaction from the Ducks and Minchikov, and then Cowan, like he's been doing. You go back to that third period of the Anaheim game on the 12th. Cowan got involved there with Viel. He does it here again without really thinking much of it. No push at all. I think Nylander just lost where he was. He was looking back for the puck. There's the takedown by Minchikov, and look who's there. The Cowboys right on the doorstep, and he's been endearing himself in those, last 9 games since the Anaheim one, where he hasn't been afraid to jump in.
Just like William Nylander to stir things up.
I really look at Nylander. You know, sometimes you accidentally on mistake will bump the goalie. At least in my age, you did that an awful lot. I think he was really looking back thinking, where's the puck? Am I going to get it? So here you go again. Not a 5-on-3 this time. You had coincidental minors with Cowan and Minchikov, but it's the goaltender interference by Nylander gives the third power play opportunity already here for the Ducks.
Ducks were back goes Zellweger from Calgary, and Gudas on the tape. Kreider. Funny, they do have that core veterans. We got Gudas and Pezzetta behind the play, and Pezzetta trying to get something going, and
I think if you listen to the intermission talk, Nick talking about Gudas not taking any punches, I think a lot of that had to do too with the ankle. He took his medicine.
Oh, Yardcroak getting involved with Zellweger.
I just don't think there's any chance that Gudas is going to get involved in another one. He knew he had to take one. It's the reason why he said he wanted to play here. And there was an example. Pezzetta's been dying to get somebody to engage with him, get something going, and well away from the play. And Pezzetta's still trying. It's not going to happen, man.
You better be careful because he's pushing the linesman here.
You don't want to get an abusive official call. You know what? Good on you trying to make an impact, but you also have to read the tea leaves a bit. I don't think there's any chance that Gudas is going to get involved again. Nick would attest to just how hard it is on your ankles in that when you're trying to fight and trying to throw punches. And here he's just on his knees and there's no response. I mean, he knows exactly what Pezzetta's trying to do, and he's just saying it's not going to happen.
Pezzetta and VL might very well happen before this night's done.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody else. He's 61's been looking for a dance partner each and every shift. That's his 5th shift of the game, and he's been trying in each one. He's going to get, maybe he is going to get an abusive official there.
He was involved with Ryan Gibbons, and now he's going to talk to Gibbons about it. But
John Tavares is having a talk with Wes McCauley, and I think, Chris, I think that's right. I think that's what it is. And
yep, Pezzetta's gone down in the room, and you can hear the fans respond to that here at Honda Center.
You know, you're trying to make an impact. There's the frustration level there. Just kind of went too far. And when you see those stripes in front of you, you better not be trying to manhandle it. And especially when you're not a veteran guy.
With Carlo. Joshua back for Stetcher. Vial there forechecking. It's a piece of Stetcher. And I mentioned Vial's. He's been looking for a response, and now Domi drops the gloves again. And that is a mismatch against Minchikov. And Max Domi is going to be 2-0 on the night.
He's 2 for 2 is right. I think a little surprised that Minchikov turned and went after him. And Vial's having a talk with him too as Domi goes off. Young defenseman, again, 22 years old, and not something that he does very often.
We just had Stolarz bump Huso.
Nice, let's get her going.
They were going to go off for the break, and Stolarz just a little bump, but here's how it all got stirred up. So a long animated discussion between Wes McCauley and Craig Berube. This is what we noticed as Anthony Stolarz maybe just sending a message.
Just a little change of course,
interested.
right? He just made sure. I don't think Huso was even looking at him, and Stolarz has a few words. Nothing comes of it, but we'll keep tabs on it. Craig Berube was upset with Wes McCauley because it looks like, again, it's going to be the Leafs who are having to kill off.
Pull it in. His shot goes wide. Jacob pulling behind the net, trying to center it. That denied. Joshua to the line, covered there by Yardcroak. To go to Joshua. McCabe and Huso with the stop as Jake McCabe nearly had goals in 3 straight.
He's got it.
And away he goes.
Right after Gudas.
With Gudas.
Jumped up on the play. You're right. Almost put it in the back of the net and no hesitation. Just immediately got the headlock in on Gudas.
Stetcher's got somebody down.
And again, I don't think Gudas is going to bite. How about Jake McCabe? A chance at 3 for 3. That is something.
Zellweger and Stetcher now debating it after they had a little wrestling match.
Well, you know, Craig Berube said in St. Louis, St. Louis was the most disappointing game since the incident with Gudas and Matthews. They had played with a lot of energy and intensity. He said the only guy that showed up was Joseph Wall, but this has been a team that's shown up here in this game. Everybody involved. There's immediately McCabe gets to the headlock and takes him down.
Well, it started right off the opening face-off. You knew Radko Gudas was in the sights of the Leafs tonight. Max Domi's had a couple of battles.
Couple
They
of
tried to get
ferocious
Gudas.
battles. He was all over it.
Trying to get Gudas involved again, and now McCabe and Gudas. And Radko Gudas left the penalty box after getting a 2-minute roughing penalty, and I wonder if that is the end of the night for him, as he goes to the room for Anaheim. Not ejected, but
well, no, and they're awfully slow. They up on the board this time. It is a power play for
Joe Quenneville elects to put him out again. Puck came outside the line. Whistle, and then Groove followed through on the echo of the whistle against Granlund, and that draws a crowd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with the veteran officials that they start picking guys out. They don't want this last 15-53 to take forever. It's, come on, boys, let's get playing.
Mentioned George Barros is here.
Yep.
Not sure he has seen anything that
No.
will have him busy tomorrow in any way.
No, the only contentious one was Pezzetta on the official.
Right.
They don't take to that very kindly, and I think one of the replays we showed anyways, the official was pretty upset and said, okay, that's enough, you're done.
Here's Morgan Riley stepping up. Jacob Quillen, his shot, and who's so short side. A little awkward with that. Quillen had the right idea.
Quillen almost
And
snuck
again,
that one underneath, didn't
and
he?
Seneca and Quillen. Anybody else involved?
I love this from Quillen. It just always kind of deferring, looking to pass it off, and then all of a sudden I think he just saw that little opportunity to get, there's an area between the stick and skate, and watch it. It looked like he was going to pass, then he tried to quick it right underneath, and that one almost slid through. Husso made sure that he kept his pad anchored there. As you can see, Dakota Joshua chipping away, trying to get a piece of it.